Aloha everyone, I'm Daniel Masuda Lehrman, your fee-only financial planner in Honolulu, Hawaii, serving clients virtually nationwide. Today we're going to tackle an important topic that comes up a lot in financial planning and estate planning, especially when families are planning for the future, which is inherited IRAs. This is one of those financial tools that can either help preserve wealth across generations or, if misunderstood, can cause some unintended tax headaches. In this video, we'll cover what an inherited IRA is, the rules surrounding them, and the options you have if you are the beneficiary of one. By the end, you'll have a solid grasp on how to manage an inherited IRA, avoid the common pitfalls, and make decisions that align with your financial goals. So let's dive in. So what is an inherited IRA? Let's start with the basics. An inherited IRA is exactly what it sounds like. An individual retirement account that you inherit from someone who has passed away. It can be inherited by anyone, spouses, children, or even non-family members. Now, when someone passes away and you inherit their IRA, it doesn't just become your IRA like any other retirement account. There are specific rules and timelines around how you can access the funds, how they're going to be taxed, and how long you have to withdraw them. These rules have changed over time, especially with the Secure Act, which brought significant updates to inherited IRA regulations. We'll get into those in a minute, but first, let's talk about the types of IRAs that you might inherit. Number one, a traditional IRA. These are funded with pre-tax dollars, meaning the account owner did not pay taxes when they contributed, so taxes are due when the money is withdrawn. And number two, Roth IRAs. These are funded with post-tax dollars, so the original account owner paid taxes up front, so qualified withdrawals are going to be tax-free. Now, whether it's a traditional or a Roth IRA will significantly impact your tax strategy as the beneficiary, and we'll cover why that is in a moment. Let's talk about some key rules that you need to know. The rules for inherited IRAs generally depend on two things: your relationship to the deceased and whether they had started taking RMDs or required minimum distributions from the account before they passed away. Now, if you inherit an IRA from your spouse, you are in a unique position and special rules will apply. You have a few different options that other beneficiaries do not. Option number one, roll it into your own IRA account. This is the most common option for spouses inheriting an IRA. If you do this, it's treated as though it's been your IRA all along. You won't face any immediate withdrawal requirements, and RMDs will be based on your age. Option number two is to leave it as an inherited IRA. This is typically done if you're younger than 59 and a half and want to access the funds before retirement without facing the 10% early withdrawal penalty. But keep in mind, you'll have to take RMDs once your spouse would have been required to, and the withdrawals will be taxed as if it were a traditional IRA at ordinary income tax rates. Option number three is to withdraw it all. You could just take all the money out in a lump sum, and while this might be tempting, especially if you need immediate cash, it could also come with a hefty tax bill if it's a traditional IRA. Moving on, if you inherited an IRA as a non-spouse, the distribution rules will depend on whether you inherited the IRA before 2020 or after 2020. If you inherited an IRA as a non-spouse before 2020, you fall under the old rules, which were considered more favorable compared to those for beneficiaries who inherited IRAs after the Secure Act went into effect in 2020. Under the old rules, you were allowed to stretch out the RMDs over your own life expectancy as determined by the IRS life expectancy tables. This meant that you could take smaller distributions each year, allowing the inherited IRA to grow tax-deferred over time. Now, if you inherited the IRA from a non-spouse after 2020, you have to follow the new 10-year rule. Under the 10-year rule, you must fully deplete the account by the end of the 10th year following the original account owner's passing. You're not required to take out money every year, so you have some flexibility in when and how much to withdraw each year, but by the end of the 10 years, the account has to be emptied out. This rule applies to both traditional and Roth IRAs. But remember, for traditional IRAs, the withdrawals are taxed as ordinary income, so it's important to plan carefully Taking out large amounts in a single year could bump you into a higher tax bracket. For Roth IRAs, the tax situation is more favorable since the original account owner already paid taxes on their contributions, so as long as the Roth IRA has been open for at least 5 years, the withdrawals are going to be tax-free. Now, there are a few exceptions to the 10-year rule, mainly for beneficiaries who are considered eligible designated beneficiaries, which includes minor children of the account holder, but not grandchildren, individuals with disabilities, chronically ill individuals, and beneficiaries who are less than 10 years younger than the account holder. In these cases, you may still be able to stretch the distributions over your lifetime. However, for minor children, this only lasts until they reach the age of majority, at which the 10-point rule kicks back in. Okay, now let's talk about taxes, because this is where a lot of people make mistakes. If you inherit a traditional IRA, every dollar you take out is treated as taxable income. So if you inherit a large traditional IRA and try to take out a big chunk at once, you could end up paying a lot more in taxes than you might have expected. This is why spreading the withdrawals over several years can help you manage your tax liability. With Roth IRAs, the tax story is much more favorable. As long as the account has met the 5-year rule, withdrawals are completely tax-free. However, even though Roth withdrawals are tax-free, you still have to empty the account within 10 years if you're a non-spouse beneficiary. So now that you know the basics, here are a few key strategies to keep in mind when you inherit an IRA. Number 1, consult with a financial planner. If you inherit a sizable IRA, the tax implications and rules can get complicated pretty fast. A certified financial planner can help you create a withdrawal strategy that minimizes taxes and keeps you on track with your financial goals. Number 2, avoid rushing. You don't have to make decisions immediately after inheriting an IRA. Take some time to understand what your options are and create a plan. Remember, with the 10-year rule, you have flexibility in how to take distributions. And number 3, think about future taxes. If you're still working and inherit a traditional IRA, be mindful of how withdrawals could push you into a higher tax bracket. You might want to space out those withdrawals strategically over several years to manage your tax burden more effectively. At the end of the day, an inherited IRA can be a powerful financial tool when managed correctly. Understanding the rules and options available to you is the first step in making sure this inherited wealth is preserved and used wisely. So if you have any questions or concerns about how to handle an inherited IRA, feel free to reach out to me. I'm here to help you navigate these decisions and ensure you are making the most of your inheritance. Thank you for watching, and if you're looking for more personalized advice, click the link in the description to schedule a free consultation with me. We can talk through your situation and make sure that you are on the right path. Take care.